and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. I'm Brie. Happy Friday Eve, y'all. It's almost Friday and I'm excited because I don't know, honestly, work has been kicking my butt all week and all last week, and I don't know. I just need a good little weekend. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I get off work early, and then who knows what shenanigans I'll be getting into. Who knows? But for today's video, I thought I'd take it back a little bit, considering I haven't done a scary video in forever, for one. Two, it's raining and it's dark and gloomy and gross outside, so what better time than now to scare myself? So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So the video that I'm gonna be watching is by Mr. Haunted, and it's 4 true creepy paranormal experiences or something, which freaks me out because stuff like that always freaks me out, but it's okay. We're gonna get through it. Deep breaths. We're gonna get through it. Okay. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm already scared. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. And it's really hot. Okay.
Before I begin with my story, I'd like to mention that I have never been a believer in the paranormal or any unexplainable occurrences. I'll begin my story with a bit of background information. I was around 23 years old, and I just moved out of my parents' house right after I graduated college. My parents were abusive and major alcoholics, and there would often be arguments every now and then. My parents showed little, if any, interest in me and didn't help pay for my college, and I knew that that house wasn't a safe environment for me and that I had to move out as soon as I could. I've applied for multiple jobs and eventually found a job as a security guard working the night shift at a local mall. It wasn't the best job, but hey, it was still better than nothing, and I'd still have money coming in. I was working full-time, and my new job became somewhat relaxing. I'd be alone at the mall where it was nice and quiet, and would basically just sit down in my chair and play video games on my iPhone for the most part. Every hour, I'd take a walk around the section of the mall I worked at just to make sure everything was all good. For the first few weeks, it went pretty well, and I was actually somewhat enjoying my job. Walking around, being relaxed, was me basically having time to myself. One night, I was doing my usual routine of doing a quick sweep through the section of the mall, as I do every hour, when I got this really uneasy feeling, like a sense of dread. I would like to mention that I get paranoid very easily, so occurrences like this were common. However, I was walking by a gaming store when I heard a loud click echo through the building. I have no idea as to what it was, but it freaked me out a bit. Keep in mind that I still could see things, but it was somewhat dark in the building, which only added on to the creepiness. Once again, I thought it was my mind playing tricks on me, and I went back to my chair and went on my phone. However, as soon as I sat down, I swear I felt a tap on my shoulder. I jumped up from my seat and screamed a little. However, when I looked behind me, I saw absolutely nobody. My heart was racing back and forth, and my brain was trying to figure out what just happened. I told myself in my head that I was just imagining things and that my mind was playing tricks on me. I sat back down, aware of my surroundings, and it seemed like it had stopped once I was relaxed. I looked at my phone, scrolling through Reddit and whatnot, when I heard one of the metal gates from one of the stores open. I immediately went into security mode and walked over to go check it out. It was now confirmed that one of the gates to the stores were indeed open.
Nope.
At this point, I'm really confused as I'm the only person that has the ability to open or close these gates. But once again, I thought nothing of it and went back. Fast forward about a minute later, I happened to look up from my phone and noticed something very odd standing near the back of the exit door. The red exit sign illuminated only what was about a foot in front of it, and I could just make out to be that of a person. I got up and said that they needed to leave and that we were closed. However, whoever it was didn't move. I turned on my flashlight and shined it toward the figure, but as soon as I did, I found nobody there. I felt sick to my stomach and backed away slowly from the door. I then radioed the other security guard to explain my situation, and he then thankfully came to me and we both called our boss. Our boss said that we could close and leave early and call the police if there was an intruder. The police ended up coming, but they unfortunately found no one. This story still sends a chill down my spine whenever I think about it.
Bro, I can't. This is only the first story. How am I gonna make it through 3 more? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Yo, I can't.
During my late 20s, I worked at the front desk in the lobby of a nice and very luxurious hotel in Florida. My job was very simple. I'd basically give customers their keys to their rooms and pick up the phone once in a while. One day, I was working when the phone suddenly rang. I picked it up and said, "Front desk, how may I assist you?" However, there was no response from the other end of the phone. I said hello again, but there was still no answer. I figured that it was just some idiot pranking me, and I didn't have time for that, so I hung up. Not even a minute later, the phone rang again from the same room. I answered it, a bit annoyed this time, and said hello again. No response. However, just as I was about to hang up the phone, I heard high-pitched, blood-piercing screams from a woman. My blood ran cold, and I put the phone down and told my manager everything. When I told him, he had this confused look on his face. I had asked him what was wrong, and he went on to explain that nobody had checked into that room for 2 months. We both immediately knew that someone had snuck into that room, and him and I went to go investigate. When we got inside the room, it was freezing cold, even though the thermostat said it was on 83 degrees. My manager and I started getting this strange, unsettling feeling. What happened next is what I still can't describe till this day. I felt something brush up against my arm and quickly go away. I then told my manager that we needed to get out of here and not come back. We did just that, and we locked the door and never went into that room again. The calls seemed to have stopped as well, as I didn't get any calls from that room again. Till this day, I'm convinced that in that room had paranormal activity going on inside of it.
Yeah, I would say so.
In 2005, I worked as a janitor at a local high school full-time. I lived in a town that was very nice.
Oh, man.
The people were very polite and amazing, plus I had actually made some friends with a few of my fellow neighbors. I had just moved into this town, so I had to find a job. I tried Shaw's, which is basically a grocery store for those of you who don't know. I tried applying at gas stations, pharmacies, restaurants, and even a clothing store. However, nothing seemed to be working out. Then, a few weeks later, I got a job as a janitor at a high school. They didn't even give me to what was barely an interview, just some questions I was asked. Anyway, I got the job, but the only problem was that I was working the night shift, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., and I am not a fan of night shifts.
Oh, no.
I would mop the hallways while listening to my music, and it seemed somewhat relaxing with nobody around. Anyway, fast forward a few weeks later, I'm doing the night shift and doing my usual routine of mopping when I hear what sounds like a door closing shut from the other end of the hall. I figured that it might have been my music, so I continued, but I then got chills when I heard it a second time. I lock all of the classroom doors, so I was wondering as to how it could be possible that I would hear something like that. Now, I knew it was possible that someone was here, but keep in mind, there's only one other janitor that works the night shift, but he works in another building of the high school. Me, thinking that it might have been him, I called out his name, but there was no answer. I then decided to be the brave man and walked down the hall where I heard the noise. As I'm checking the locks on all the doors, I look behind me and I see an outline of a person walk into the bathroom and turn on the light. It was now confirmed that there was indeed someone here. I walked over to the bathroom and opened the door. The thing was that the light was now off and I couldn't turn them on when I flipped the switch. However, once I was fully in the bathroom, I heard what sounded like the laughter of a child from one of the stalls. I froze and stood there in horror and ran out of the building screaming like a maniac. I called the police and radioed the other janitor, and they all came and police didn't find anybody in the bathroom. Both officers didn't even seem to buy my story, given as to how scared I was. Needless to say, I left my shift early and quit my job the next day. No more night shift for me.
Yes.
I haven't told anyone about this yet, fearing that people would think I'm crazy, but I am most certainly not. I know exactly what I heard that night.
Ain't no way. Nope. Okay, one more. No, my
In 2005,
no,
I worked as
I
a
really
nurse at a
can't.
hospital outside of Massachusetts. Being a nurse was easy for the
Hospitals are
most
so
part,
scary,
and the
bro.
money was great. My job was to check up on patients who needed assistance or bring them any food or drinks. That was pretty much it. I'd mostly
What?
work for around 8 hours a day, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Once in a while, I'd get lucky and work around 5 hours, but that didn't really happen on a regular basis. I've had a lot of pleasant experiences working as a nurse. I made a few friends with my fellow workers, and it was somewhat nice talking to the patients. It was a chill job, you could say. However, there was this one experience where I witnessed something I would never forget. It was a late Tuesday night, and I was just about to end my shift and go home after a long day. The thing was, I couldn't leave as it was pouring drastically outside, and I wasn't in the position to get rained on. Therefore, I asked if I could help around to keep me occupied until the rain stopped. One of the nurses who I worked with told me that they needed an extra hospital stretcher from one of the storage rooms below the building. I hated the storage rooms as they were a little creepy, mainly because barely anyone went down there, and on top of that, it was also extremely cold. I didn't want to decline, so I took the elevator down to the storage rooms. As soon as I got there, cold air immediately filled the room. Thankfully, I had my sweater on me, so it wasn't that cold. As I was rolling out one of the stretchers back toward the elevator, I thought I could hear footsteps from behind me. I looked back, expecting to see someone, but I instead saw no one. Immediately, I thought to myself that someone, most likely another nurse I knew, was playing a joke on me or something. I get paranoid really easily, so I did a quick sweep around looking for anyone. I ended up finding no one, so I turned around and walked to the elevator. Now, this is the part where things start to get a little weird. The lights start to flicker
Elevators
and
and
making this
hospitals,
buzzing noise.
bro.
It was still raining outside, so I figured that it was most likely due to the storm. However, I looked behind me to see a woman about 15 feet away from me. She looked like she had been in her late 80s, maybe older. What I do remember vividly about her was her empty, blank expression on her face. I could tell that she was a patient as she was wearing her hospital gown. I of course was shocked and asked her why she was down here and if she needed help. She did not respond. All she did was stand there looking at me with this empty look that I still can't describe. I was about to call for help, but before I did, she turned around and started walking back down the dark hallway and out of sight. I took the elevator back up to the main floor with a stretcher and gave it to the other nurse. She seemed confused as to why I was so shocked. I signaled for her to come over to me, and I explained my encounter. After I had told her, she went to go grab a folder from one of the shelves and pulled out a picture of a patient. She asked if this was the woman I saw in the storage rooms, and I said yes, and she then told me something that sent a chill down my spine.
Oh my god.
The patient who I saw apparently had died due to a heart attack around a week ago. She was a very nice lady and was always so caring and generous. So, yeah, this was one of the most unexplainable experiences I had working in the medical industry. I have another one, but this was by far the creepiest.
Yo. Why do why do I do this to myself? Yo, I can't even breathe right now. Literally, like, hospitals are so freaking scary. Why did I do that to myself? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay. It's fine. I'm not crying. You're crying. It's fine. It's fine. Yo, I literally can't. Literally can't right now. Like, I'm sweating. There's tears. I don't know. Like, there's a lot going on. But my heart's beating really fast. Oh man, I'm telling you, I used to be so good at these videos, like watching scary stuff. I used to be so good at it. Now I'm like a freaking crybaby, but I still love it. I just like, I don't know, something about it. Whoa, but that right there, I can't, like, oh my gosh, especially hospitals, like that is so terrifying to me, bro. Bro. Oh, I'm so hot. Oh my gosh. So basically what I learned from this is don't ever get a job anywhere ever. Oh god. Especially if you have to be by yourself. Oh man. Oh, jeez Louise. It's all good. We're fine. We're good over here. Holy crap. I was not ready for that. This just tells me I need to watch more scary videos so this doesn't occur. That was the scariest thing. Like, I just can't. But it's okay though. Holy guacamole. With some ravioli. Wow. Have y'all ever experienced anything like that? I mean, I don't even know if I want to know, actually. I mean, if you have, like, I'm interested. Like, I want to know. But at the same time, I don't want to know. But if you have experienced something like this, let me know in the comments down below. Or, you know, you can always hit me up on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I'm still trying to, like, recover. But, okay. But anyways, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell, because, you know, I post randomly, so you always want to make sure you know when I'm posting, because, you know, I'm going to figure out a posting schedule. Or how about this? Y'all let me know what works best for y'all. Like, what days of the week would y'all like a video? And I'll try to, you know, but for now, I'm just, you know, I'm here. But yeah, all my, I can't even talk still. Oh, all my social media stuff will be linked down below, and yeah. I will see you guys in my next video.